Hello, I hope everyone's keeping well. So we're on the Ford this evening. Got a little job to do in terms of going through the fuel system on it. So my dad was cutting some grass up in the top field, and it died a death. And usually, more often than not, it's there's a pre-filter in the fuel tank here that gets clogged up. In an ideal world, I'd take the tank off and give it a thorough clean out, but we're not doing that tonight. So I've cleaned that out, got it started. It ran for about 10 minutes and then it died a death again. So I think I need to look at replacing these couple of filters underneath here, and also in behind there, right at the very back where the fuel line drops into the fuel pump itself, there's actually another filter right inside that, another like a wire mesh filter. I've been meaning to look at this fuel system for a while. As you might see from here, it's got a bit of a leak going on. It's not usually too much of an issue because I usually we usually turn the fuel off when we're not using it, but it's one of these jobs I've always wanted to try to get somewhere near right. So I'm going to drop the arm down on these concrete blocks, these blocks, so I can take out this arm to give me better access. I'm then going to take out the fuel filter housing, the complete lot, so I can then get right at the very back there to get onto the fuel pump. It sounds worse than it is. It's not that bad. I have got complete fuel filter assembly. So I was thinking, if the threads all match up, I was thinking I might just swap the whole lot over in one go, and then I can deal with this one at leisure, back home in the garage. So yeah, like I say, in an ideal world, I'll take this tank off. It's got quite a bit of sludge at the bottom, but in order to do that, anyone who's got a Ford probably already tell me, but I think I'll take steering wheel off, all this lot out, hood's got to come off, well that's not a bad job, and then the tankers, I think the tank, or does it? Oh, it might not actually. I thought the tank wrapped around the steering wheel column, but it might not actually. So but yeah, that might be a winter job. Take the tank out and see about cleaning it out as thorough as I can. I need to apologise about the last video with the Hilux. There was a lot of flickering in that. I'm still using the same torch and the same camera, but what I'm trying this evening, I hadn't appreciated there is actually an anti-flicker device on this camera. It was set to 60 Hz, I've just changed it to 50, so we'll see how we get on with that. But yeah, so let me make a start, get a couple of tools out and make a start. Nice and smooth, nice and smooth. Okay. Thought last time I was able to put this up, but actually that would work like that. My little anti-injury device, that little piece of threaded bar, make sure that doesn't drop back down and catch me across the back of the head, although I probably ought to push that a bit further. There you go. Yeah, that's safe. Right, so now I've actually got really good access to the fuel filters, so I'll go and grab a bucket and we'll start undoing some pipes. See how we got on. One of the other little jobs I like to hold on a minute. One of the other little jobs I like to look at is this main pipe that runs into the fuel filters. That is, it's just loose really. It's the union's tight, but the pipe inside's loose. Not horrendous, but it's enough to wobble around and make it leak. So it's been like it for years, but I'd like to try to see if I can do something with that as well whilst I'm here. There you go. Right, and we are out for that part anyway. Right. So that's the old original one. Like I say, there's nothing really wrong with the housing, just it leaks out the top here, leaks out the back here, and to take that out and deal with that, I've got to take the whole housing out anyway. So that's what I was thinking, if I just swap it all over as a oneer and then deal with this in my own time. There's the loose pipe. I'm trying to get onto that now. I've got it out. But yeah, I think maybe the fuel filters are blocked. When I rebuilt the engine about must be about a year and a half ago now. I never did bother changing the fuel filters then. I just reused the same fuel filters. So those filters have probably been on there for at least 4 years, I'd say. So I've had my money's worth out of them. But yeah, now that's all out of the way, I can now take this out and make sure that the wire gauze filter directly behind that is clear. That did give me grief. I've never had that out before until I rebuilt the engine. I rebuilt the engine and it would start and immediately die. And I had to do some online poking around to work out that actually there's a filter in here. Took the filter out and it was completely caped. So got to be a little bit careful because it's right by the positive for the starter motor. You do get spark fly if you catch it wrong, which I have done before. So grab a 24mm and then I say 24mm is imperial, but 24mm does fit it. And we'll pop that out and have a look. Right, try to do this and see what I'm doing. Really need 3 hands for this bit really. But, right. Oh no! Dropped my torch in the diesel. That was clever of me, wasn't it? Anyway. Let's try and do this without causing any sparks. Oh yeah. It's I might have to put the camera down because I just remembered I think there's a spring in there as well. There is a spring in there, so let me put the camera down. I'll get that out and I'll show you straight after. Right, okay, so there's the bung that was in the top. Put that down. And in here you've got, I hope it's magnetic, there we go, we've got a spring. And then behind that, you've then got a filter that I've got to try and ping out. I remember it was a bit of an awkward bugger last time, but I did manage to do it. So I'm going to put the camera down. So I've got both hands and I'll get it out and I'll show you what it looks like. Right, I've got an idea. Yeah, there it goes. There it is. quick shout out to my friend Barry. Several years ago, he gave me two of these probes. They're actually meant for electrical connections, but it's actually turned in absolutely perfect for pulling this out. And there's the inline filter. It don't look too bad actually. I'll give it a clean out, but that's definitely not what's causing the problem. I think the fill filters are blocked. That's all right. Whilst I'm here, it makes sense to check this since I now know this exists. So we'll clean it out quickly and drop it back in. Of course, can't do it up too tight because it's all aluminium. Back there now. Right. So that's back in. I think it's about time I started putting this new housing on. I have checked that the threads fit. I have tried a couple of the lines on there, so I'll start putting that back on and then see if I can get it started up. Right, so I've got some of the pipe work on. It's all buttoned up to the tank. I found this pipe was actually fine. The issue was it was cross-threaded. There's no point in me trying to show you. I highly doubt you'd even be able to see it, but it was cross-threaded into the actual housing. That's why it always appeared loose when it wasn't. So I'll turn this on now, and we'll let these fill up with diesel before I finish putting the pipe work on. So I've got a little bit less bleeding to do because it's a bit of a catch-22, this particular tractor. It's you can bleed it to the pump easy enough, but you can't really get to the injectors because the battery's sat on top. So I'm usually a little bit naughty. I tend to bleed it up as much as I can, and then what I'll do is I'll then get it fired up an easy start. And I find when it kicks over an easy start, it usually gives it enough to wear into life then. Let's chuck that in there. What size spanner do we think that was? 17, wasn't it? Right, bear with me, I'm going to edit this bit because I've not got the spanner I thought I had. I've literally got a camera and a torch in one hand and doing everything else with my other hand, so I do apologise about the state of the filming. Right, so just wait for it to start pouring out of that end. Move my bucket to catch it, and then I'll chuck the last pipe on. I have, for good measure, replaced the bit of flexi hose that goes on there. So I'm trying to cover all bases. I need to do the same with this actually. That's got a piece of really old hose that's just sat on there, so it can have the same treatment. And, yeah. Right. All gravity fed, there's no pump on it. Should start coming out soon, I think. There we go. Right. Right. It's still on there loose at the moment. I've done it on purpose so I can make stuff a bit easier for getting the pipe work all lined up. The only reason I'm using these Jubilee clips is because they came with a kit that I brought, and I didn't use them for the kit, but I thought I'd save them for something else, and I thought this could be the something else. We can keep a close eye on it like that, can't we? So we can go back on and then let it fill up a bit more. Yeah, don't look too bad, that. It's gone back together quite nicely. I just need to do those two top bolts up. I'll do those in a moment once I've done the. I'll do those in a moment once I've done that bottom pipe up, and then we'll see if we can get it start. Right. See what happens. It always makes me chuckle how long these starter motors take to slow back down. Right. Well, let's see what happens. Might have to cheat, but I'm going to need both hands for this. Well, she started. Not the most elegant way of doing it, but gets it done. Probably people were not very happy at the way I'm treating this, but she's a workhorse, bless her. Trying to get this in the right place. Right. Alright, well, hopefully that will put it in good stead for a couple more years. Like I said, in an ideal world I'll be taking that tank off to clean it out properly, but that'll be another time, I think. So I've just taken these filters apart to have a look, and so this is the first one. You probably won't be able to see it too clearly, but there is a fair bit of silt in there. So I think that's what's happened. I think this first one's blocked up. The second one actually looks alright. Don't look too bad, but the first one is a bit silted up. I have seen them worse though. I was expecting to see that a fair bit worse than it was. Especially when I did the Massey Ferguson, that's absolutely jammed packed. But yeah, so, but like I say, it's stalled out on the field. I emptied out the pre-filter in the tank that was absolutely packed, and it ran for probably another 20 minutes and then conked out again. Start it up a bit of easy, start running it in, and then yeah, just change those. So I'm guessing it must have been somewhere in between. But yeah, unfortunately, like I say, because I was originally going to just buy a set of filters and build it back up ready to go straight on next time, but with the damage to that thread, I could repair it. But to be honest with you, buying a complete new housing plus filters is only like £5 more than buying the filters by themselves, I seem to recall. So I'm not even sure it's even worth trying to salvage it. But anyway, that would be about it. So thanks for watching. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you have a nice weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.